Hello, everyone. So, I just wanted to share this short story of the book of Magi. You can find the entire story on YouTube. It's called The Lost Book of Revelation of the Magi. But I thought this was a really interesting story, and so I just wanted to kind of share it with you all. But basically, the Magi is the three kings that followed the Star of Bethlehem and found the baby Jesus in the manger, and basically their story on how they began to follow this star. Now, the star would appear over the mountain of victories, and they would go and worship God on this mountain. Also on this mountain was a spring called that they had named, well, I don't know if they named it that, but it was called the Spring of Purification. And it also had this cave that was basically the cave of hidden treasures and mysteries, which was basically had scrolls in it that they are saying were possibly of Adam and Eve's time. So while worshiping on this mountain, they basically saw or had a vision, or Jesus appeared to them in the spirit form and told them that he was going to come in human form to save people from their sins. And they were told to follow the star and bring the treasures from the cave to the baby Jesus. And they were also told that they would receive salvation for doing so. They were told to continue to teach their sons to look for the star because they did not know when it would come or when it would be fulfilled. So God also taught them the laws and the commandments. So on the 25th of every month, they would bathe in the spring of purification on the mountain with the orange tree, the myrtle, the olive, the vine, the cedar, the cypress, and the juniper. And then after that, on the 1st, they would pray at the top of the cave of treasures. And on the 3rd day, they would enter into the cave. The tree of, this is just a note I put on here, the tree of life during Adam's time was also lit up by this same star. Once Adam transgressed, the sight of the star was taken away. Okay, so basically now if you go to their journey through, the desert or whatever, following this star, then they found Herod or whatever. And so here's some scripture of when the account with Herod. So basically, you have Matthew 2, 1 through 2, King James Version. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born the King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. Matthew 2, 2 through 10. Where is he that is born the King of the Jews? For we have seen his star from the east and have come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes and the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus is written by the prophet, And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, and not the least among the princes of Judea, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star had appeared. And he had sent to them to Bethlehem, and said, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they had saw in the east went before them. And stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed unto their own country in their own way. They had arrived in Jerusalem during the month of flowers, if anybody wants to look that up. But anyways, just some more information. Ancient cultures throughout the Near East, the Mediterranean, and thriving around the complex systems. Basically, they're just saying that this was kind of how they would read the weather type thing. They would look at the constellations or whatever. And that's basically the end of this story. But what I thought was interesting was that basically there was this mountain of victories, and that had the spring of purification, and it's all based on, Jesus's death and resurrection. And it was like they got baptized in the spring. They were taught that basically the law of Moses, I would say, the 10 Commandments, and they were given the scrolls to give to Jesus and the treasures or whatever, and they followed that star. Anyways, I didn't really get any real clues on, much about the rapture or anything like that, because I feel like we're kind of looking for Jesus's birthday right now, which I'm really starting to believe that it's September 11th. If not, maybe that September 23rd. I really don't know, but I feel like we're really, really close to figuring it out. And so I was just kind of looking at the information about this star Bethlehem. So if anybody else wants to do some more research, or you have anything to add to this, please do so. I just thought it was a really neat story, and I wanted to share it with you all and bring awareness to it, because some of these lost books have information that you're not going to find in the Bible. And anyways, I just thought it was really neat, and I hope you enjoyed it. Love y'all. Bye.